Good evening, welcome to the Dugout. It is in the middle of an India-West Indies test, but our Dugout is focusing on something that is happening at the Women's World Cup. Statement was made by former Pakistani women's cricketer Sana Mir, where she said in that game, talking about a certain player and praising her, that she's had a tough life or a tough journey. She comes from, and this is the controversial bit, she says comes from Azad Kashmir, and then she goes on to talk about her career. So now on the face of it, for a lot of people are debating on social media what is wrong with that and what is not wrong with that. So before I start, let me just put the facts out for everyone. It is in local parlance in Pakistan itself, they refer to that part of Kashmir that was, by the way, if you do not know your history of Kashmir, was forcibly taken from the erstwhile Kashmir kingdom by, at that time, a militant group from the Pakhtun area. They took that, of course, with the tacit support of the Pakistani army. They had taken that particular area, and since 1948 that area has been 47 actually, it's been referred to as globally Pakistan occupied Kashmir. It's POK as the world knows it, as India knows it, and that's the correct way of addressing that. In Pakistan itself they call it Azad Kashmir, okay, which is a direct reference to this part of the Kashmir that they gave freedom to, which there is a lot of irony in that, which we'll touch upon, but they're calling it. So just referring to that part is as Azad Kashmir is offensive, to say the least, to a lot of people, and she's made that comment on a public platform on a tournament which goes globally, and so that has become a major talking point. I believe she's put an apology out. If you can tell us what is...
it's a clarification,
okay.
Less of an apology.
So because she's not apologetic about it?
No. Because what she has clearly mentioned is that let's not politicize the matter. She's begun with that. It's been blown out of proportion, and the comment was made strictly on the basis of the fact that highlighting the challenge she faced of coming from that particular region of Pakistan. Not many people have come from that side of Pakistan to the national team. She plays from that particular part. She came to Lahore. She got her cricketing skills there. And it is the part of the storytelling we do as commentators from where the players come from.
No, I think there is a distinction to be made. Nobody, by the way, if this is the explanation she's put out, I think the most obvious thing to ask is, I understand what storytelling is. We are also in the business of storytelling. Storytelling is you tell a person where they come from and their struggles. I completely understand. But if you're going to refer to that place in a controversial fashion, how can that hide behind the garb that this is storytelling? Nobody is questioning her for her storytelling skills. Ian Bishop does a great job, and he's a master at that, where he refers to each young player, whether it's at the under 19 level, at the under 22 level, or at the senior level, when they come from certain regions and the hardships that they faced to reach the international level. Ian Bishop also does it, but he's mindful of the fact that to refer to the particular place in the correct form, which is not offensive to anyone, right? So I think if she's saying that this is part of storytelling, which it is, but you are not catching the bull by its horns and not actually addressing the issue at hand. Nobody has a problem with your storytelling. People have a problem with your reference to the area. Has she made any clarification?
So she highlighted the source, okay, from where she got it. The source mentioned at that particular time Azad Jammu and Kashmir, from where the source was.
Source and it is what, a website?
Yes, we call it Bradman.
No, I mean, without taking names, what is the source? Is it a book? Is it
it's a website? It's a website. Popularly accessed website.
So now my point is, you are journalists, okay? I've written a book as well, right? When I did write my book, I have to quote my sources, which I do at the end of the book, where I write. And when I am quoting any sources or any places from where I may have taken information, it is my responsibility, because it's my name on the book, to double check and cross check as to how it should be referred to. The problem is now not with the website, okay? what if the website has written something like that, and if people have an issue, then the website will have to answer that they can't be writing something like that, right? That's the first thing. But you as a commentator cannot say that I took it from a website. When you go onto the train, I've given it 100 times that example. You go onto Indian Railways, लिखा है ना,
सवारी सामान की खुद जिम्मेदार है.
It's written.
Yes.
Similar, you are zimmedar, you are responsible for every word you say. Whether you've taken it from a website or a newspaper or a certain book does not matter. There are so many books or newspaper that are doing propaganda. I can't be quoting those, no? There could be incorrect information. If I'm a person who has been given a responsibility of holding a mic in my hand or a pen in my hand and writing, I have to do my due diligence. So doesn't matter if it's written in the website or not. You are speaking there and you've said it and you have to bear responsibility. So that's the only explanation that I got it. So on 2 counts you've just explained that she has said. On both counts, her argument doesn't hold water at all. So she said, so basically she's not addressed the issue and basically she's not apologized for it as well.
No, she hasn't. But then where she hails from, it's a catch-22 for her. What can she do? If she remains neutral, people in Pakistan are going to go after her. But then if she said that, then on this side of the border, there'll be plenty of thing, and that's what she's getting, the brickbats she's getting.
I actually wonder what the notes, see, every commentator carries a note, right? Or multiple notes, in fact, that you refer to while you're commentating. What is it that she first said? She corrected.
Yes.
She corrected. So I still wonder, while she may have cited this very popular website, while she may have quoted whatever, that this is where I picked up from, I still wonder what is it that she carried. And I think the right utterance, the first utterance that came from her would probably have been, or could probably have been, exactly what was written in the script, or whatever note that she got as well, or whether she made it for herself or whether this was researched upon. But then she corrects herself, and this is where what
does she say in the first?
She says just Kashmir. She comes Kashmir. Yeah. Kashmir.
So there you go.
Exactly. The first utterance was Kashmir.
Within 1 second,
and then she corrects herself. See? Azad Kashmir. Again, this is where she hails from. This is where what side of the story is presented to her. This is the distorted history that has been taught to her and so many of the other people of her nationality. No. I think this is where that comes in.
No, so my point is, see again, giving her the benefit of the doubt. In Pakistan, it's pretty common to refer to that area as Azad Kashmir. I completely agree. Understand that, and she's grown up listening to that. So she's saying that. Nothing to do with that. But then that is in a personal capacity, na. As soon as you come on an international platform, then I have to be mindful of the usage of the words that I'm doing. For example, and again, many might say that what's the big deal? It's just a question of nomenclature, however you use it. For example, Great Britain. You've only given that name, Great Britain. I may choose not to use it as great. They may think it's great, so they've called it Great Britain. I'll refer to it as United Kingdom or whatever.
Or Britain.
Or Britain, whatever. Exactly, right? I don't have to refer to that as Great Britain. So they may have called it Kashmir and she may hail from there. But when you're on commentary, if it's, and let's say Great Britain is not offensive to me. But even then, Nasir Hussain on commentary or whatever won't say Great Britain or whatever. We'll say Britain. But if it was going to be offensive to me, something that is disputed, something that is, not accepted worldwide, then when you're a commentator, you can't be using it. So I'm not saying that, see again, there could be no malice from her part, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. She grew up listening to that, as you said, so she said it. But firstly, it's her job then to know that I can't say this publicly. It may be something that is said here, I can't say it publicly. Secondly, if I am a listener and I am offended with it, as many are, should she not apologize rather than put this side of the story where she's not actually addressed the issue? She's saying storytelling, nobody's questioning you for the storytelling. She's saying, where she hails from is whatever. But you've not really answered the question that there is.
I think this is where Siddharth rightly says that this is where the pressure comes from. You cannot forget your roots as well. Again, you have to go back to Pakistan.
So then don't do commentary, no?
Yeah, see, that's the catch-22 I think that Siddharth was talking about.
No, but if you've said this like this and people are offended, you should issue an apology. I'll give you examples. We had Kerry O'Keefe who said very recently, in commentary, and it was in
2018.
Jest, he said it, that he could not pronounce Cheteshwar and Jadeja. He said, what kind of names are these? Why would you want to name your kids Cheteshwar and Jadeja? Because he found it tough to pronounce. A lot of people took offense to it. And what did the broadcaster do? Firstly, Kerry O'Keefe issued an apology. First things first. Then he was blacked out by the commentator here in India. Because that BGT commentary was happening in Australia. He was sharing commentators. The Indian broadcaster blacked him out for passing a comment like that. He also made a comment against Mayank Agarwal playing against a canteen
Jalandhar railway canteen
whatever.
team. Yeah,
but I'm saying if there is an offense taken by anyone, Isa Guha very recently said about Jasprit, he said MVP.
No, Bumrah, MVP,
MVP, he said, is your primate, most valuable primate.
Yeah.
Which I understand. I mean, at the end of it, we often refer to Homo sapiens as extension of primates, as in that's where we come from. So it's just a play of words that she did. And again, I don't think there was any malice, but as soon as she said it, many found it racist in nature, okay, especially with the history of India, Australia that happened in Monkey Gate when certain references were made. People pointed that out. She had to issue an apology. Yes. She apologized. First things first is, if Sana Mir does not have any malice, and let's say she didn't know any better, she grew up in that environment, she should not be here. That's what I'm trying to say. Pleasing her area comes now. Pleasing her country comes now, where she's hell-bent and she's being defiant and saying, I did nothing wrong in its commentary. That I think is worse. She should actually come out and say that I didn't know better. I didn't know that this is not what you can refer to. If it has hurt anyone's feeling or whatever, I will want to take my words back. That should be the right thing. Yep. But she's not done it. She's trying to explain to it because why? She sticks by that fact that is Azad Kashmir. That is the problem.
It's a bit like, sometimes nowadays and in today's day and age especially, so people get, there's a feeling that people get offended over everything. That's a general consensus. So in that time period, what a lot of athletes or celebrities, whoever and whatever this thing, they almost have, let's say, templated apologies which they have. I dare say normally a templated apology in this case would have been much better than whatever she wrote. Just simple. Sorry for the offense caused. Will be careful next time. Done. Dusted. Khatam, tata, bye bye.
Yeah, my
no one
intention
would have
was
cared.
not that. I didn't know that this is offensive. I cannot be referring it to that. Done and dusted.
Instead, in this case, what I'm saying is a doubling down. It's actually a doubling down because you've not apologized and you're saying, look, this website has written it like that. And we've always grown up with that. That's not correct. That's not correct.
Also, that website is not sanctioned by the ICC as an authority, right?
Correct. You are doing the world feed.
Exactly.
You are doing the world feed of the official. That other thing is, why has no action been initiated? Can action be initiated?
Should be.
See, ICC sources have told us she's not in contempt. There's no code of conduct violation.
How is that not a violation?
Because it might have happened outside of the field of play, and code of
It's
conduct.
not happened outside of the field of play.
You're commenting
Use
on
mic.
the
Code of conduct applies to players, match officials.
Incorrect. I will give you another example. Happened to a very good friend of mine, Dean Jones. Okay.
Yeah.
Dean Jones in commentary called Hashim Amla a terrorist. Yeah. Okay. By the way, I'll also tell you, in his defense, he put out two things. Okay, which I think was a much stronger defense than Sana Mir's. Two things he put out. One, and he apologized also. Let me add the third thing. He apologized. And what was his defense? First thing, he said that this is a name that is sometime in dressing room talk, casual talk. His fellow players also call him that because of his beard. But of course, he does not take any offense because, amongst
banter,
in dressing room, there is banter. You have it. And even if he takes offense, he has the right to. He could have questioned his, fellow players, whatever be the case. Dean Jones had heard that. Okay, and knew that this is what they refer to. And so he had said. So first defense was that, which wasn't too far away from the truth. But he was told at that time when he was suspended that may be the case. And the players might be saying that. He has no problem that. You are holding a mic on an official broadcast. You have no business using that word. Yep. So first things first, when you're saying that's off the field of play, exactly. I don't think that adds
It isn't. So you should launch, the BCCI and every entity in India then should launch a complaint to the ICC.
No. Why? That's my point. So that's first.
Yeah.
That is his first defense. Secondly, his other defense was, which is also true, when he actually said that the play had stopped and commercial break was on.
Yeah.
Do you know? So he actually also did not say it like Sana Mir said it with a mic. He had actually put his mic down.
Correct.
And he was speaking to his fellow commentator because a commercial break had been taken. So his mic is down, commercial break is taken, and he's casually talking again.
Gets another wicket.
Let's say he's telling Harshit, about that. And using that T word.
It's a very muffled word.
Yes, so he does it. But what happened in one part of South Africa, because they didn't have enough commercial on the broadcaster, they didn't go on a commercial break. They had that thing on.
Correct.
And so a viewer who also comes from the same faith as Hashim Amla heard that. And he felt offended. How could you say that? You are attacking my... And he has all the right to do that
Well
because you're
within his rights.
stereotyping. Correct. He did that. And he launched a complaint based on which he was fired and he could not do commentary for 2 years. He had to sit out and was not allowed to do commentary. My point is, for someone who apologized, for someone who actually didn't say it while the play was happening, for someone who actually used a word that was being commonly used by someone, enough defense, but nothing was heard and he was put out of commentary. So that goes to my question. You're saying code of conduct is only on the field of play? No. By the way, I think the broadcasting of this is done by the ICC. ICC itself produces this content. The production team comes under ICC, under the CEO, under the larger flagship, which is run now by an Indian chairperson. All of this comes, so the people who are in production also get paid by the ICC money. So how can they not take action?
So
I'm sorry,
first, the complaint should be there and action should be taken. Because this is a far graver offense. You have gone into sovereignty of a particular state or an entity.
Yes.
But look at the heightened India-Pakistan drama that has unfolded. This is not in isolation. Every 3 weeks that we saw, every Monday, did we see cricket on the field? No. We saw political gimmicking on the field. Started on 14th, okay, with the no handshake bit and dedicating it to the victims of Pahalgam, the Indian Army and Operation Sindoor, the win on 14th. 21st, you saw it even more blatantly, okay. 28th also, you saw so many things happen with all the drama that happened in the post-match presentation. Even that is still not yet gotten closure, by the way. Is it any coincidence that one more India-Pakistan game is happening on 5th of October, the last of the 4-part trilogy that's India-Pakistan? You're seeing this happen again. Action, when it was taken, was piecemeal action in the ACC. Okay? Neither of the Pakistan players got a big slap on the wrist. Indian players were also given a fine. I mean, hello, who instigated it first?
Though we are still yet to hear what is the fine.
What is the fine? Never. It has never been revealed.
Yeah.
Now this has come in a broader ICC tournament. You have gone one step ahead and just fudged your sovereignty. Will the ICC take action?
Oh, I think this is where geopolitics comes into picture. And I think escalating this may not particularly be easy.
No,
because
why
the
does
fight...
anyone have to escalate? Any viewer, as I said in Dean Jones' case, viewers took offense. There are so many viewers that I see on social media that have taken offense. You have to take cognizance of that fact and you have to act on it. How is it? And by the way, the geopolitics makes it worse. Now I'm telling you, let's say for example, we've given her the benefit of the doubt. You guys said that maybe, she's grown up with that. That's the knowledge she has, so she's do it. Though she needs to educate herself when you're holding the mic. That's the first thing. But assuming, how, if someone feels offended, how is you not to say, and I'll take you back into it, why this becomes like that. We've just had a acrimonious Asia Cup, India-Pakistan, right? Where things got from bad to worse. What was the starting point of that? The starting point was Pahalgam terror attack. I'm just going to the crux of the matter. What is the issue that has landed India-Pakistan in the situation that they are at the moment on the cricket field? It's Kashmir. Right? Now, who is to say that in that situation, in the current environment, where Mohsin Naqvi, the interior minister, goes to practice sessions, tells players, speaks to them on the eve of the match, and the next day players are doing all these actions clearly to make a political point. Who is to say that she, being a Pakistani commentator, is not trying to make a political point on Kashmir? Who is to say that? If today somebody is thinking like that, what you should be doing is coming out and making it clear that you don't stand by this. You don't believe in this. But you've not said that. You've tried to skirt the issue by saying this is storytelling, and again, I don't want to go back to it. Storytelling is very different. But if there are enough people who feel offended in what is happening right now, and you're calling a part of Kashmir as Azad Kashmir, who is to say that there is no ulterior motive attached to it? I could see it like that there is. That maybe because things have gotten ugly, where even players are celebrating in a way to, put the other players as well as the country down, you've done the same. And you've carried it on in the Women's Asia Cup by referring to that as Azad Kashmir. I'm trying to rub your noses too. Who's to say that the
oh,
real
why-
intent is
why-
not that?
why-
So make yourself clear, no, that's not my attempt.
I wholeheartedly
You're not
agree.
doing
Why I feel this could escalate into a bigger issue, and it will be difficult as well to break this down as black and white, because see how many nations, because I'm just taking the debate forward or this conversation forward, this will go in the realm of who recognizes Kashmir as what. And the world is split on that. The world is split. The BBC also, I remember, heard a few years back, and remember there was this huge row as to how a certain part of Kashmir was shown in the Pakistan map and all of that. So the world is split on that.
No, but no, there's a difference, Harshit.
And-
the world is split, I agree. The world is split as in on what situation? I'll tell you. The world is split. When you see an India map, it has the full of Kashmir. Okay, as it was when it was a principality, when it was under Raja Hari Singh. That is how Kashmir was. That was the total of Kashmir. That included, which now they call Azad Kashmir, which is actually Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and Gilgit. Okay, those two areas, and Aksai Chin. Now those areas are now not administered by India. So the fight there is that India says that whole of Kashmir belongs to us. Gilgit and POK are administered by Pakistan, and Aksai Chin by China, right? So those areas they administer, but India claims a right to it. There is the debate, and so then they say don't cut this. And there are others now in Pakistan may make a map where they claim Kashmir is there. Even let's say Indian.
They do it all the time.
That is the debate. Yeah. No, that is the debate. But my point is, right now nobody is debating as to who is administrating what areas. So in this case, there's a clear-cut line which is called the LOC, which exists. So this part of Kashmir, which as I said was taken, I am now reminded of, just to give you a history, reminded of that this one said na, kaun log raat ke andhere mein, who's this one, this one Bhutto's son.
Yes.
Oh,
Bilawal said na, kaun log raat ke andhere mein wo karte.
Yes.
So that is how that part of Kashmir was also taken.
Correct.
So it belonged to Raja Hari Singh. So there was a militant group from the Pakhtun area that was supported by the Pakistan army in 47, 2 months after India independence. In 47, October of 47, they overnight came, attacked civilians. That time it was not governed by India also. There was no Indian army. It was the army of Raja Hari Singh,
Yes.
which wasn't obviously competent enough at that time to defend its border. So they took that area, which is now Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Then after this, Hari Singh came running to India saying, now, okay, I'm ready to accede to you. So Kashmir becomes part of you. That's when the Indian army took it. And Indian army then moved in what was your first war in 48, moved in and took a lot of these areas. So Poonch and Rajouri and these areas were all became part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Then your Indian army took a lot of those areas back. They were going to take Mirpur and Muzaffarabad, which are now part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir. They were going to, but at that time, the Prime Minister in Jawaharlal Nehru, after consultation with Sheikh Abdullah, the grandfather of Omar Abdullah, he was the leader, the chosen leader. He said, don't go beyond this line, because beyond this line, I don't have any control, because the Kashmiri speaking people are till here. And I'm the leader of Kashmiri speaking people. If you go beyond there, the Punjabi speaking Kashmiris, they don't really vote for me. And that time the whole plebiscite could have happened. UN could have asked for vote. So the decision that India took is like, okay, let's keep this area, because there we can control the vote. So even if voting happens, they'll vote in favor of being with India. That's why they didn't push. Otherwise the Indian army was ready to take everything back.
Correct.
But you didn't, and then in 49 you called a ceasefire, and so it ended. So the point is that part of that area, the debate is that it is administered by Pakistan. You can call this, we call this Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, we'll call it. But if a Pakistani had to say Indian administered Kashmir, that also people won't take offense, because that's their viewpoint, right? Yeah. Similarly, if you called it Pakistan administered Kashmir, which they're administrating, they're there. We claim that that is our Kashmir, because if the ruler gave Kashmir to India, then the whole of it should belong to India. But that they have occupied. Then that is the correct way of mentioning. And as a commentator, you've got to be treading in that line. You've got to be mentioning those things. This part of Kashmir that's administered by India, this is Jammu and Kashmir, which is under Indian administration. That is what you have to say. You can't say Azad Kashmir and
PAK or POK would have solved a lot of troubles right there and then. Because then you'd at least technically not be on the wrong side. The Azad Kashmir part is where things get really murky.
See, if she had said Pakistan administered Kashmir, looking at the mood in Pakistan, she would have not been allowed to come back.
But then she shouldn't be doing commentary.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you have to mention it the way it is.
She had to just mention where she came from without. If
She
had known
actually
the-
did.
Without the
but then she
sensibility.
changed.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying, how
Yeah.
don't you attach an ulterior motive to it?
Correct.
If somebody wants to
Exactly.
attach it, then how do you blame that person?
She
Saying that
can't-
because this is happening, we are rubbing their noses, they're trying to rub our noses. Maybe this is an extension of that.
There is no locus standi for her as far as storytelling and all this thing is concerned. Because had she not changed, and it was not after 10 minutes or everything, within 2 seconds she changed it. 2 seconds.
No, not even that one. Same breath.
Sure.
Kashmir,
Kashmir,
Azad
that's
Kashmir.
it.
was-
By the way, can I tell you the bigger irony of all this? And I was just thinking about it. They call it Azad Kashmir, but the maximum amount of human rights violation are there only.
And it's happening at the right
And
time,
so
and there
it
is
is-
a protest happening, by the way.
Exactly, ma'am. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Azad would mean freedom. They themselves are going through human right violation. And if you were to do a vote in that part of Kashmir,
Yeah.
probably the Kashmiris who are staying in Pakistan occupied Kashmir would also want to actually vote for Azadi only. for
And in fact,
freedom.
Azad Kashmir would imply that Kashmir is governing itself.
Exactly my point.
Which is also
That's
this
the
thing,
irony.
You can't be calling it Azad Kashmir. You have to call it Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That would still technically the right term. Technically.
Exactly. But as I said, in Pakistan, these kind of sensibilities have never been ingrained. And that's why Sana Mir and all the others, I mean, if you have to look at it, she's the only one who's made a slip up in that sense. You look at all the other Pakistan commentary, even when I've listened to Urush Mumtaz also, she's never made that kind of a slip up. I think she is far more aware because she's had more commentary stints. Sana Mir, on the other hand, has never had that many commentary
Is
stints.
that
so she-
5 years, yeah, now in the business?
My point is, you have not had, we're giving all benefit of the doubt. You grew up listening to it, all of that.
But this is deliberate.
Stand up.
This is
Stand up
this
and
is
say it was an error on my part. I did not know better. This is an error. But when you're not doing it, you're trying to admit that this is a point you wanted to make.
This is a deliberate
That's it.
attempt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Stand up and say it was a mistake. And this is why I say action can be taken.
Yes.
If I am, running that broadcast or I'm heading the ICC or whatever, I'm going to take action. Listen, please explain. How do you take action? You ask the person for an explanation. And if you've done something, I've given you previous examples. Nasir Hussain for a minor thing where he called players donkeys and he actually meant like working hard and looking at that. He had to apologize. You had Mark Nicholas who had to apologize for calling brainless West Indian fielders, and many thought that was racist, but he was talking about in generic way, but he had to apologize, right? So much minor things they've had to apologize. Nobody is like dug their heels in and said no.
In the current climate of India, Pakistan, an apology coming from either party, blasphemous.
Well, then action needs to be taken.
Action will be
No,
taken. I think there will be a formal complaint lodged from the Indian section. I think she will then be barred. I think that's the only way possible now. I think the process will now be followed. Complaints might have gone through. And I think within the next couple of days, I think she may not be allowed to commentate on the India-Pakistan.
recently there was an explanation given and accepted this is part of our culture.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, you can fool people in the right places at the right time, but you can't fool everybody.
I know. There's a different video, different subject.
Yeah.
I've asked for that to be done. Shubham Garg has a question, and a lot of other questions have also come in. Shubham, we had promised that we'll answer your question at the right time. So he had asked, Nikhil sir, with Jingoism over, was Asia Cup dominating for us? Gill failed, Sanju iffy, no proper finisher, combination in limbo with Dubey as second opener. But it's quick answer for that. So we'll try and answer too many questions. India went through that tournament undefeated. Like Akshay Kumar would say, "Bacche ki jaan loge kya?" Like, what is it that we desire? I think there is no team, even the greatest Australian team at the peak or the West Indian team would have issues here and there. No, you could say that this one's not scoring and that has been an issue. That will always be there. You've gone undefeated. Other thing is that certain things that you've spoken about form, must not forget the kind of pitches that were on offer. They weren't really conducive to stroke making. Most batters would have struggled. I think you will see the truer representation of batting form when you play in good pitches.
Correct.
I think that was dominated that, and India played according to conditions. And they won, as I said.
Also, him pointing out all those points actually reinforces the point he was not trying to make. Because despite all these struggles, you still didn't lose.
Exactly.
Despite all these struggles.
But that's what I'm saying. You're at a different level. You're the envy of the world right now. Everyone's talking about
Nitpicking.
where you are and what you're
Yeah.
doing. Okay, Shubham also didn't like Sky interview, which was jingoistic according to him. He says Sky needs to put the head down, work on getting runs, slow wickets, always. See, I'll tell you what, Shubham, you and me can have different opinions, but let's not forget that guy is in the center of everything happening. If you saw that interview that he did with me, he said there's so many things that were said, I can't mention it. How can you remain unaffected? So let's say it started with which he thought was harmless, of not shaking hands, and he did not make any direct attacks at Pakistan and dedicated that win to the terror attack victims, so on and so forth. But the next game got ugly. Who knows what things were said? Those gestures are made. Obviously, your blood will start boiling. They just adds on. Then press conferences were very heated up. You saw, questions coming from Pakistan side, aggression, this, that. Will you win? Will you lose? Then you saw how the final really happened. Tilak Verma, very calm and quiet, also exalted the way he did. So you can't be unaffected with what's happening. He may have gone in a much calmer state of mind. By the time you finish the tournament, he was different. It could happen to anybody, you and I also. Right now we're sitting on the sidelines, we don't feel it. When you're in the thick of the action, you'll know. Bumrah, exactly.
Bumrah is one of the ones who's least chirpy on the field normally. If he felt compelled to do that celebration to mock Haris Rauf, it tells you how badly affected they were after a point, and I don't blame them. At the end of the day, they might be elite level athletes, but they're also human beings.
You're not playing with robots, Shubham Garg.
Yeah,
let's just make one thing clear. They are people with flesh, bones, heart, mind. They will get impacted. Ashish Dhar, Pak commentator made the blunder first in saying the cricketer belongs to Kashmir. She tried to do damage control by wrongly saying Azad Kashmir.
If she said
that actually makes it worse.
That makes it doubly worse.
So she had done the right thing first, and then as is to please.
The truth actually came out the first time. Then everything was a cover up. Back home. Yeah.
Please them, she went.
Yeah.
Very differently.
Ashish Dhar, BCCI to PCB 8 trophy humka de de Thakur.
But again, on that trophy, I've said, see, eventually it'll reach. What's the whole fuss about? It has to reach India.
Someday.
And by the way, even if it doesn't reach, key farak pen. You know who the champion is.
Eventually, Naqvi's term will end. No?
It's on proof.
Then what?
We won.
No, but
it's on
even
proof.
then, I'm saying, let's say, trophy is still just a materialistic thing. You actually go to be champions.
Pakistan's history books can distort that, we have the trophy, we might have won the 2025 Asia Cup. But no, proof hai that we have won the trophy by beating you.
Thrice,
yes. But it could be 4. Because Ashish Dhar is saying, India-Pak match every Sunday, recurring calendar invite. It's the last chapter in this 4-part series that's happened. It's the last part.
And once again, much like the men's team, the Indian team starts as the overwhelming favorite.
11-0.
ODIs.
That's what I'm saying.
Madness.
Exactly.
It start at a completely different level.
Exactly. And looking at it, Pakistan lost to Bangladesh in their opening game. Imagine.
Okay, Shubham also says Sana Mir is a daughter of a colonel who participated in multiple wars. She can't issue apologies. She's from that establishment. She is in her it's grassrooted in her vocabulary.
Correct.
Why not?
I mean,
but she still can.
How can we expect?
I am a son of a colonel who participated in multiple wars, but if I'm doing commentary officially, I'll have to follow the nomenclature in the way the world sees it, or I should not be commentating.
How on
You
earth,
can't be like, tu janta nahi hai meri lineage kya hai. Can't be like that.
How on earth can you expect them when they are so steeped into their own propaganda and delusion? How can you expect them to see reality? You can't. It was evident in those 3 matches. It's evident in Sana Mir's commentary. And it will be evident even on 5th of October. It will be evident. I'm sure someone's going to do a provocation. Someone will.
There also.
Yes. What's stopping a Nashra Sandhu from not doing it? What's stopping anybody else from not doing those kind of celebrations? They will do it. Definitely they will.
If they do it, then they're even bigger losers, because in the women's cricket thing, the gap is worse.
I mean,
far worse.
You saw
yesterday also how brilliantly they played.
Come on. 13-3, 11-0. Yet they do it, na? I can't make sense of them, seriously.
Okay. Amresh Sinha, this is not a question you should be asking on the public platform. Definitely not. I'll do an Instagram live someday, you can ask me that question. Casual is on a casual social.
Hope there is no glitch on that which gets lost.
Yeah. I did one yesterday and got lost.
Yes.
She actually struggled. There is apparently, once you finish, there is an option that comes. I also don't know, but somebody told me the option that comes. save it to the profile or send it to archives. It is so if you don't click there, it will automatically go to the archive. Then it cannot be brought back.
Oh, damn.
So you got to be very careful as soon as it ends.
Save it to
that
profile.
right option.
Okay.
I was with a friend the other day. He's same age as me, journalist as well. And because he was struggling with something, and I helped him. He said, my worst fears in life is when I have to do something, and then the computer asks, "Do you want to do this or that?" He said, "I can't answer the question. I start feeling nervous. What to do? I can't, just to read, because technology, like with age, becomes that."
Rohan Verma, you're talking about taking action against her when BCCI couldn't even get the trophy back with their team won. Truth is, Naqvi is thrashing BCCI off the field since CT hybrid model. BCCI is not as powerful as you think, honestly.
How exactly is Naqvi thrashing the BCCI off the field since the hybrid model? The hybrid model was India's demand, and eventually it went that way.
Both Asia Cup and CT.
No, Asia Cup though, I'll still let the Asia Cup go, because that time Najam Sethi was in charge, and Najam was far more open when it came to the negotiations. Naqvi though has been a stubborn old whatever.
Though I agree with you that I don't think the hybrid thing is something that India didn't want. India is happy also in that. But I think overall BCCI needed to do more. I feel they still need to do more, and I think ICC also needs to do more. I think they've been found wanting in certain areas.
They have been too soft. That much we agree with you, that they have been too soft on these things.
Are we done? Last couple of questions. Sarat Chandra is saying, last two questions, okay? Ashish Shandelia and Sarat Chandra.
Yeah, Ashish Shandelia saying, next level BCCI and ECB ego and capitalistic mindset will ever go for two-tier system. If they ever get relegated, BCCI brings the most sponsored. Imagine a scenario where Ashes not happening.
No, I think they will go for it. And if India ever gets relegated, then people will watch the second tier more. Viewership will go up. How does that matter? Sarat Chandra.
Panelists just want to know, are cricket fans nicer compared to football fans? I'm new to football, so don't know much, but I never saw cricket fans go gaga after one loss. Would football fans do?
I mean, they are nicer, yes, much better behaved, you'd have to say.
Cricket fans?
Yes.
Yes.
Much better.
Then football fans, there's no comparison.
They are ultras, next level.
You saw what happened in Paris once PSG won,
Everywhere.
right?
You go to South America, the fans crazy.
Bloody.
Europe.
Europe, in Italy, in England.
Bonkers.
I mean, you're talking about, we talk about, don't criticize our coach and this, that. Recently, Nottingham Forest's new head coach, Ange Postecoglou, he's been there for 6 matches, by the way. 6 matches, 4 matches he's lost, 2 he's drawn, so yet to win. After they were losing their most recent match, Nottingham Forest fans are chanting at him, you're getting sacked in the morning. You'll never see that happen in cricket. Football fans possess a next level savagery mindset. Trust me.
I mean, the Super Classico games, River Plate versus Boca. Bloody, there's blood on the floor here at this point. Shivangar, can you please solve how Rajiv Shukla is always in the BCCI post? I'm seeing this from last 20 plus
question.
years. How is this humanely possible?
Listen. When God said, "Let there be light," there were 3 people there. There was God himself, there was Rajiv Shukla, and there was Queen Elizabeth II. All were there at the same time. Rajiv Shukla has been around. By the way, if you please ever go and Google that, there are infamous photo of Dada swinging his shirt. Who's standing next to him? Rajiv Shukla. That's a fact.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, since the 90s I've known only Rajiv Shukla.
Okay.
I saw some picture for sport tail that you did last year, and with the guy Rajesh Shukla was there.
With Dalmia, no? You mean?
100%.
Of course.
Okay, quick comments I'm going to read. Indian supporter says, I think Indian media and BCCI are giving useless mileage on the trophy issue. First place, nobody really cares about trophy. I am with the Indian supporter. I said, finish it. We won it. जब भी आएगी आ जाएगी trophy. We are champions.
Just keep the trophy glistening.
It will. Naidu says, while I find Sana Mir's choice of words problematic, it's also pertinent to address the issue of players for the Kashmir region representing Pakistan. But they will, right? I mean, at the moment they're administered by Pakistan, so they will. Eventually what happens with there've been a lot of human rights violations there. There is a big revolt happening there. What happens later is another thing. But right now they will be playing for Pakistan. Yeah. Fast and Curious says, what else is he supposed to say? That's what they call it in Pakistan. There is no globally accepted name. Yes, but no. That's what I'm saying. You have to call it Pakistan administered Kashmir. Or if nothing, Kashmir. Simple. Just as simple as that.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're talking during commentary. You can't be using a word that is offensive to anybody. We just gave examples of that. Rajiv Ranjan is saying, Nikhil, you're doing a great job. Keep doing it, bro. Don't do like other YouTubers. Okay, thank you very much, Rajiv Ranjan. Thank you very much for your kind words as well. Okay. Freaking awesome. West Indies never has been bowled out below 100 in India in Test. Can we expect that to happen tomorrow?
No, they'll get a little over 100.
On that note, we're going to take your leave.
There's interest for the West Indies. I told you it's
They
pulsating.
can check out our post-match.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye-bye. With that, another edition of the Dugout comes to an end. Thank you for your company as always. Give us a like on the video. That's the only thing we ask for. And subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't already.
And see you tomorrow.
Nandri,
Bye.
Shubhratri,
Shabba khair, eat your vegetables. Don't trouble your mother.
Bye.